Hello, everyone. How are you? I am Erin. I am a psychic and energy healer, and welcome back to my channel. This is Energy with Erin. I have not been on in a little bit, you guys. I've been very busy getting stuff ready for the business. Things are finally rolling, and all the pieces are coming together. It's very exciting, but there is still a lot of work that needs to be done, but it's gonna be good. I can't wait, you guys. I will officially be open in July for sure. So, some exciting stuff is coming your way. So in today's video, I wanted to go over kind of, I guess we could say, some current events and a little bit of the astrology. I know I've already talked about it in other videos, and obviously coming up, I will be giving you guys a full moon reading video this coming Monday, the 29th. And then on Wednesday the 1st, I will be doing a energetic reading for July, which July is going to be interesting to say the least. And then there'll be other videos. Oh, my birthday is next week, so I was thinking of doing a video on solar returns, which is like your birthday. So yeah, you guys should be getting a lot of content coming out next week. So I figured we're going to talk about some stuff, and then I'll give you guys a quick little 3-card reading just to get you through until Monday, the new moon, when I'll give you a big reading. So let's talk about some stuff. First off, I want to talk about earthquakes. There are tons of earthquakes going off in recent days and today, the last 24 hours. Apparently, in the last 24 hours, there have been more than 7, but at least 7 major earthquakes, including California, Japan. I'm sure a lot of you have heard about Venezuela. They just got rocked really hard. A bunch of buildings came down. There's a lot of missing and dead people. So please pray for them. Keep them in your prayers tonight. I mean, and everyone who's affected, right? And the other place was Papua New Guinea. And also, I just heard about an hour or two ago, there's an Alaskan volcano. Granted, it's in the middle of nowhere, but there is a volcano that is showing some signs of erupting where it has been dormant for a really long time. The earth is actually lifted 10 centimeters, which is very indicative of it blowing. If you guys have ever looked into when Mount St. Helens went off, Netflix had a really good documentary a couple years ago about it. But basically, that's what happened to Mount St. Helens right before it blew up. The ground started rising and rising. And if you've ever seen the footage of Mount St. Helens, like the mountain literally just like crumbling to pieces and then blowing up, it's insane. It's insane that we even have that video. It's insane that of how it happened. Like, it's just crazy. So something similar could possibly happen in Alaska. Basically the Ring of Fire, if you guys know what that is, the ring. So basically, like, from Asia, I should do it the other side, Asia all the way to Alaska, and then all the way to the East Coast. That's the Ring of Fire, right, in the Pacific Ocean. That's where all these volcanoes, sorry, not volcanoes, but earthquakes are going off. But when the earth shakes like that, it does cause tsunamis, and it does cause volcanoes to go off. So definitely the San Andreas Fault. I have been following some geologists for the last week, and they're all saying that the pressure is building in the San Andreas Fault, and it will eventually go off. And when they think it's going to go off, it's going to be pretty bad, pretty disastrous. So just be aware of that if you guys are thinking of going to visit California, or you live in California or whatever, or the West Coast. You guys know, you guys get earthquakes all the time. And they've been saying for a long time it's going to go. So we're kind of past due from what I hear from the professionals. And then there was something else going on east of the Rockies. Now, I have never been that far west in the country, so I don't know much about the Rockies or where that area is like. But basically, there is a series of fault lines that meet over there on the eastern side of the Rockies. And it's more towards the south of the Rockies where I saw this map. I couldn't figure out what state it was. But there's basically 4 different earthquakes, that went off recently, and they're like, oh, it's kind of creating like a square pattern. And so to the geologists, they're like, that's kind of indicative that something's going to happen. So it's quite possible something could go off there too. And in case you guys did not know, when we get hit with solar flares from the sun, it's called solar forcing, but the solar forcing kind of creates the earth to like shudder almost, and like it affects the earth like once those waves hit the earth, because basically it gets blasted from the sun. It takes about a day or two to get here depending on how quick the solar forcing is, but when it hits the earth does have a reaction. That's how we get aurora borealis. But yeah, so just be aware of that. Usually when there's a lot of activity, we do see an uptick in earthquakes, which also causes volcanoes upticking or possibly exploding, and the tsunamis to form, obviously, when there's earthquakes, depending on where it happens in the ocean and how close to land it is, right? So that's it for the earthquakes, just something to be aware about. We obviously can't control it, but just, you guys might, if you guys live near a fault or something, you might want to be looking into that a little bit more. All right, next coming up, this is good news. The World Cup is happening around the world, you guys, and I don't follow soccer, or they call it football. But I've just been seeing people from all around the world. So what is it? The Algerians are in Kansas, the Japanese are in Texas, and the Scots were in Boston, which I wish I knew that. I would have gone and partied with them. I didn't even know they were up my way. But now they're down in Miami. They actually had the game today. I don't know. Oh, I didn't look to see if they won, but I heard that they were going to set some world records. But they're my cousins. I have a little bit of Scottish in me, but I have a lot of Irish, so they're our cousins from across the way. But what I've been seeing with this World Cup is basically all these people from the UK and the Algerians and the Japanese, the media, what they say about us Americans is basically like everyone has blue hair, everyone is crazy, everyone is political, and everyone has guns. And if you go to America, you will get shot and killed. So, which I'm like, okay, that's crazy that they say that about us, but okay, I can see it. Like that's just what they do. So they come over here and they're like, you guys are actually really welcoming and nice. And it's just so cool to see all these different cultures coming together and respecting each other. Even though they're going against each other on the World Cup, they're still partying together and they're cleaning up trash that they're leaving behind. Like, please, Americans would never, like, if you've ever left a movie theater or a concert, it's a pigsty, right? So it's so great. It's so uplifting. I'm like, oh my God, this is hope for humanity. This is a glimpse into what life could actually be like. And it's because there's no politics involved and there's absolutely no media twist to it. So I think it's really great. To me, it's a glimpse of what the new 5D world is going to look like. People putting their differences aside and being like, you know what? I'm a fellow human. You're a human. You have differences, but let's celebrate each other's differences. Like, tell me about your culture and I'll tell you about my culture and let's, hang out together. That's how people learn and grow, right? So I love seeing it. It's coming across my YouTube feed constantly, and I'm just like, yes, more of that, please. The world needs more of that. And it is raising the vibration, all those people coming together and having a really good time. So I know everyone's like doom and gloom, but you guys, I see really good stuff within the doom and gloom. So I hope you guys can see it too. All right, so next topic, Mercury goes into retrograde this coming Monday, and the full moon is that day too. We'll get into more of that energy in the full moon reading, but something tells me there's just a lot going on especially next week. So I hope you guys are gearing up. Enjoy this weekend because things are going to be a little crazy in the next coming weeks. Nothing that you can't handle. It's going to be on a global scale as well as a personal scale. So just keep that in mind, and depending on what happens, and we'll get into that shortly, depending on what happens and when and where you are, is going to depend on how it's going to affect you, whether it's going to be really major or maybe not so much. So I don't know if you guys have been feeling it. So the shadow period for Mercury going into retrograde happens 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after. I felt it even before we went into the shadow period. So like I've been having trouble texting. I've been having trouble sending emails. Like I can't freaking get my words out correctly. So let me just quickly back up. So Mercury is the planet of communication. Okay. And the mental mind. And when it goes into retrograde, it looks like it's going backwards in the sky but it's not. It's not going backwards. It's just the way we are on Earth and the way everything's moving around us. It appears like it's going backwards. So when a planet is going into retrograde or appears to be going backwards in the sky, is when we go back and we do all the things. So we're going to redo, we're going to reevaluate, we're going, reassess, we're going to go back and redo things pertaining to that planet. So because it's Mercury, it's all about technology and communication. So typically in a Mercury retrograde, you don't want to sign contracts. You can sign contracts. You just have to triple check what you're signing. Okay. You can actually get really lucky by signing contracts during a retrograde, but you have to do your homework and make sure that you know what you're signing. What else usually happens during phones, can glitch. Anything with technology can glitch or shit the bed. It's really hard to return stuff that during this time that shits the bed. So just be careful of big purchases that you're getting. Make sure there's a return policy, right? What else? Yeah, communication could be rough. People are not going to be understanding what you're saying or understanding where you're coming from. Just stuff like that. And for this Mercury retrograde, like there's been some Mercury retrogrades where I'm like, oh, I'm fine. It's not really affecting me. Like it's kind of annoying, but like it's nothing crazy. This time it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a little bit rough. It's going to be a little bit spicy. Combustible energy is the word that comes up. For me, this week, I've been experiencing klutziness. So, like, I'll go to grab a bag and there's a strap on the bag and it's wrapped around another thing. And, like, I go to pull it and it won't, it's just like, I've just been very irritable at stupid little things. But, like, I'm trying to catch myself and be like, okay, don't let this piss you off. Like, continue your day. Is it annoying as shit? Yeah, but just keep rolling with the punches. So, I will share that advice with you. Just roll with the punches. So yeah, bumblingness, klutziness, dropping stuff, like accidents happening. Like that's not typical of Mercury retrograde, I don't think, but I have been experiencing it. So I just want to share that with you because you might be experiencing it as well. Especially people are going to be super bitchy the next couple weeks. And it's not just because of Mercury, it's because of other stuff too. People are going to be so bitchy. So just be aware. We're also in Cancer season, and don't get me wrong, I'm a Cancer. I love being a Cancer, but they call us crybaby Cancers for a reason. We're not always crybabies, though, so, screw people who say that. But yeah, Cancer is very sensitive, right? So we're in that sensitive season, crabs, we can be crabby. People are going to be very crabby, okay? There's going to be a lot of power and control and the dynamics that surround that. So it's going to, for me, like I'm seeing like workplace stuff. It could be in relationships. It could be wider scale things like organizations that you're a part of. But the the combustible energy and the bitchiness and the power and control and the irritability, like all of that is going to be wrapped into that. It's going to be like, why did they just say that? They said it's gonna be like a shit sandwich. I don't know if that means you have to eat the shit sandwich or you're just in a shitty situation. I don't know. But people are gonna be very irritable. People are gonna be very pissed off. And people are gonna be popping off. They're not going to be able to control their emotions properly. That's why it's very important that you meditate. Try to meditate daily. Some form of meditation. There's hundreds of different ways to meditate. And make sure you guys are grounding. The energy that's happening between now and the end of July and even into August, really, because August is eclipse season. You guys really need to ground at this time. And I know I say it all the time, but it really is important. Get back to the basics. I would recommend, if you can, do a digital detox. Absolutely no technology. If you can do that for a day, amazing. If you can do it for a weekend, even better. Seriously. Make sure you're nourishing your mind, your body, and your soul, however feels right to you. But they're telling me to make sure you're nourishing your body at this time. Put good, real food into your body, please. Do not eat all that fake food and all the stuff filled with chemicals, the processed foods. I am going through it right now, and I know they always said that. They're like, as you go up in your spiritual awakening journey, you're not gonna be able to eat the bullshit food. And like, yeah, it's happening to me now. And it's like, I used to get away with eating a couple slices of pizza, and now it's like, nope, not so much anymore. So that kind of stinks for me, but it happens. So just as our vibration on the planet raises and as the vibration in our bodies raise, we need to be taking better care of our bodies, okay? Especially with everything going on at this time. So keep that in mind. All right, next topic, I want to talk about the data centers. This is also a really good thing, right? So Erin Brockovich is back on the scene. Another Erin after my own heart. Love that movie, so good. And she is a badass in real life. Like, I didn't even know she was still alive, to be honest with you. So to hear that she's coming out and helping us fight against the data centers, it's like, yes, girlfriend, thank you. But we all need to be helping out with that, right? That's how we're going to come together and change the tide, is us coming together as in the masses and not just one or two people, right? And I do see it happening. I see it happening. So with the data centers, who knows what they're going to be for? A lot of people are saying it's going to be for surveillance, like with the, what is it, the 30-minute cities, and you're not going to be able to leave, and they're going to know everything about you. And like, to me, it is quite probable that that's what they're for. To me, I'm more concerned about the frequencies. I heard that, I think it was in Florida, they had built a data center and it was near a school, and a shit ton of kids got cancer from the radiation coming from the data center, and they had to shut it down. So that is very concerning. I mean, same thing if you live near a 5G tower, like, or, oh my God, when they friggin' put the 5G towers on top of the water towers, it's like, oh my God, are you trying? Yeah, you are trying to kill us. Yes, I know. So anyway, so I see a lot of people going to like their town, I don't know what they're called, like town boards or city board, like, are they planning boards or something like that? A lot of people are going there and fighting back against it. I know in a town across the state line from me, like not too far, they're actually, I think this week they were actually having a meeting, and the residents, I hope, were fighting back against the data center. And I know they closed the one that they were going to build, or they put a halt to it. They were going to build one about 30 minutes from me, and they put a halt to it right now. So that's good. Yeah, so I see everyone coming together and standing up and uniting, and saying no, because when we don't react or we don't say no, that basically gives them consent to do whatever they want with us, which is how they've been getting away with stuff for a really long time. So when we stand up and say no, that's how we change the track that we're on. That's how we change from like the 3D to the 5D. That's how we raise our vibration and try to ascend all the bullshit that we're in right now, right? So, and this reminded me of the quote, right? And I wrote down the quote. So the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing, right? And that is along the vein of apathy. Like, but you don't give a shit. You don't care, and you're not going to do anything about it. And that's how these people get away with stuff. Oh, you don't know, or you don't care. You know and you don't care. Good. We're going to do it anyway, and our plan is going to succeed. So don't do anything. And this is what I'm seeing coming, especially with what's coming up in the next coming years, and it might even be happening next month. People standing up and uniting together and saying enough is enough. No, we're not doing this anymore. But people have to come out of their houses and actually start taking some action steps. People can't be hiding behind their screens at home. Like, it needs action for this stuff to get done, right? So, good news with the data centers, people are more cognizant of them, and every comment I see on the data centers, everyone's against them. I don't see anyone advocating for them whatsoever. So that's a good sign, you guys. This is good. So, let's see, next topic. This just happened today. This is not good news. I don't like this. Hopefully we can figure out a way to fix it. But with Monsanto, if you guys don't know who Monsanto is, I was actually lucky enough back in college in 2000. Oh God, I'm going to be dating myself. 2011. I had this weird, wacky professor, and it was like kind of like a side class. And he basically like was a conspiracy theorist, and he told us all the stuff about Monsanto and all that stuff, and all about our drinking water and how they're poisoning us. And like back then I was like, you're crazy. And I was like, you're a nice guy, but like, you're crazy. And the whole class thought he was crazy. And looking back, I'm like, he was not crazy. He was absolutely correct. He was trying to warn us. And like, there's a reason I got told that information way earlier on, even though I wasn't enlightened back then. There's a reason why I heard that information. And here we are today. So Monsanto is the company that sprays Roundup or glyphosate on all our food, which then, like, you know, hurts our guts, which kills us and all that stuff. So basically today, the Supreme Court sided with Monsanto. Monsanto cannot be sued by anyone for failing to warn consumers of Roundup or glyphosate's cancer risks. So we can't sue them, even though they know it causes cancer and they know it's killing us. We can't do anything to stop them. So I don't know much about the Supreme Court and how all that stuff works, but hopefully there's a way to overturn it. I have a feeling that's not how the Supreme Court works, right? Because the Supreme Court is a little bit different than regular court. So that's all I have on that, but like, that was not really good to see. I did not like seeing that. But I guess we'll see what happens. I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be pissed off about it. A lot of people were pissed off when I was reading the comments when I saw this. So let's just hope people stand up and somehow we can do something about it, right? So moving on to the next topic, we're going to be talking about a little bit about July. I'm going to do a whole nother video on this. But July 4th to the 5th, everyone keeps saying something is brewing from the 4th to the 5th and also the 3rd week of July. Some people are saying anywhere from like the 18th to the 22nd. A lot of people are saying the 20th. So this is the 250th year of the anniversary of the birth of the United States of America. And all I heard when I was writing my notes down was fireworks and boom. And I don't mean regular fireworks. I mean, like, something's going to go down. And a lot of people can't really pinpoint what it is. And we're basically in the same astrology, the same astrological energy as when the United States was founded. And obviously when we were founded, like, we had to go through a war with Britain, right? To get there. It was not easy to do. So that's why I have a feeling I heard tick, tick, boom, something's gonna explode, but from the explosion, we're gonna be able to pick up the pieces and put it back together even stronger. I feel like the bad guys, whatever you want to call them, they're gonna try to take advantage of this and put it back together the way they want to, but I really do see people, like, rising up against that and doing it in their own way, in a good way, right, for us. And my guides were saying, this is a shakeup that is needed. You guys need this shakeup. And this shakeup, it's funny because usually during eclipse season is when the shakeup is. So like, this is like a big boom, and then eclipse season is going to happen next month. And the astrology is going to kind of smooth out a little bit in August. But from August to the fall, we're having a couple eclipses, and that's when things get shaken up and change. But it's life-changing events. But this thing in July is not that. It's something different. It's something completely different. And just so you're aware, the eclipse in August is August 12th, and the pre-shadow period starts July 29th, and the shadow period after is going to go to August 26th. So that's what's going on with July. I wish I could be more specific with you guys, but right now there are a lot of timelines converging, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing because I see a lot of good stuff happening. And Elizabeth April, in her recent video, she was talking about how, like, the good guys on their council, they have a couple plans that they're debating on I don't know if this is the right word, but allowing to happen. And there's a couple different ways this could go. So what I had written down was like more natural disasters, like earthquakes and volcanoes and all that stuff, but also like directed energy weapons, like possibly them using a directed energy weapon like they did in Hawaii and saying it's a natural disaster when it wasn't. I'm also seeing, and what if they do that, they're going to pick and choose strategically And I'm not sure what exactly they're picking and choosing. Obviously, they want resources. They want to grab stuff. So it's going to be either land that they want or resources that they want. So those are the places that they're going to be targeting. And these are different options of what I was seeing. This doesn't mean they're all going to happen, or maybe a combination are going to happen, or maybe they won't happen at all. And then the next thing I saw was like a major heat wave. I know the UK is going through a humongous, really bad heat wave right now, like 104 degrees. I think Florida is like that, but Florida's always like that. It's summer in Florida, so but something with heat and electricity. So like I feel like, is it called a brownout when it gets so hot we lose electricity? I feel like something like that's going to happen, but it's going to be orchestrated. It's not going to be a natural thing with the electricity going off. It's not going to be for a long time. I'm seeing like 3 days, like 1 to 3 days, but a lot of people can die in 1 to 3 days without electricity. So just keep that in mind. The next thing that I'm seeing is possibly something to do with money, like the market crashing in some way, shape, or form, or like no one has access to their ATMs or their banks for a day or two. I don't really see that happening now. I see that more happening 2027, 2028, but it is an option. And then the other thing is aliens and the disclosure thing, but you have to understand they have the United States has their own back engineered UFOs. And they obviously can use directed energy weapons to make it look like, oh, the aliens are attacking, right? Among other things. They have a lot of technology that can fool us, and holograms and all that stuff. So those are some possible things, and that's what I'm talking about. The timelines are converging, so it's very hard to figure out what is going to happen because there's so many options still happening. So when Elizabeth April was talking about the council, I think they're the White Hats or the Galactic Federation Council or whatever they're called. They're the good guys. They're starting to not grow, people are saying like grow balls. It's like, no, they're starting to be like, we gave you a deadline, you're not adhering to the deadline, so we're going to do our own thing now. And that's why the bad guys are throwing everything they can at us to see what will stick, because they're like, fine, if we have to go, we're going to take as many of you with us as we can. So the council is debating whether they allow stuff to happen, what they're going to allow to happen, and when, and they're looking at their options. So I feel like that's another reason why I can't get a good read on it, because some things they don't want to happen, but they're like, well, if we do let this happen, it could actually wake up people. So in Elizabeth April's video, she gave the example of COVID happening. That was really bad. A lot of people died. Was there a lot of propaganda and fake stuff going on too? Of course. But a lot of people died, but a lot of people woke up. I went through my awakening during that time. COVID didn't start it, but it happened at the same time. So there are some benefits to letting the bad guys go through with their plan sometime, because it does blow up in their face every single time, especially now with what's going on. My spirit guide said, it's a mess that needs to be untangled. So whatever this thing is that's happening in July, they're like, it needs to happen. And what I saw was like, kind of like a cartoon ball of yarn, but it wasn't a ball of yarn. It was almost like someone just drew it like squiggles in a ball. And it's like this ball of energy, and it's black and gnarly and la 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 la. And it's like, no, it needs to like pop off and explode so we can pull it apart and untangle this mess that has been made. And they said, what'd they say? More good will come from this thing popping off or exploding, but it's not going to be pretty during it. And they were showing me, like, they were like, oh, like kind of like how a mother gives birth. Like the birthing process is not always pretty. It's not always easy. Sometimes it's very hard on the mother, but what comes after is a beautiful, healthy baby that, you get to hold and nurture. And like, I've never gone through the birthing process myself, but I'm assuming after you go through it, like, and you see your child, it makes what you went through worth it. And that's sort of what they're saying with this. So very interesting. So more good will come from this, but it's not going to be pretty during it, but it's a mess that needs to be untangled. Okay. So keep that in mind when you guys are spiraling. And remember, you have control over yourself and your thoughts and your actions. Okay? What they want from you, and I thought I wrote this down. Oh, yeah, I didn't read it. Okay, so what they want from you, okay, they want you to be afraid and they want you to fear. They want to take that energy. And my spirit guides were telling me to tell you, do not fret, do not fear, control yourself, control your emotions, control your mind, control your attention, because your attention is your energy, okay? And they harvest your energy to do the things that they want to do. Remember, just because you don't believe in this stuff doesn't mean that it is not actually happening and that it doesn't work. Just like people are like, oh, I don't believe in magic, I don't believe in voodoo. Okay, you can still be affected by it. Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean it's not real and that it cannot affect you, okay? They said, do not feed the narrative. Whatever narrative that they're going to come out with, don't even talk about it. Like, and I'm not saying put your head in the sand, but it's just like, if, like, say something, like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but like, say President Trump gets shot or something. Like, oh my God, and then you're talking about it and you're all, oh my God, what's going to happen? That's the energy they want, because you're helping them to create that reality. You need to have a neutral point. You need to be neutral when it comes to this stuff. And if that means not talking about it, then don't talk about it. Because remember, you're so much more powerful than you've been led to believe. So please use that power wisely, okay? And don't fall into their trap, because that's what they want. Okay, let's see. All right, one other thing I want to talk about, then we'll go quickly into the reading. So I read Journey of Souls last month. This month I'm reading Destiny of Souls, which is the second book in the series. I'm almost done. I have like 30 pages left. This has been so interesting. It's much more advanced than Journey of Souls, but the reason why I want to talk about it was because and I've heard this theory before, but like to read about it in depth, it's like, it's like taking me out of where I normally look at things and like putting me on the other side of the table and being like, look at this from a totally different way. And it's like kind of blowing my mind. So I kind of wanted to share it with you guys. But they were talking about in this book how our soul, our higher self, is always on the other side. Like, we're on the other side right now, right? Only a piece of us comes to Earth, because our whole soul cannot fit into a human body, or the human body will like malfunction and like not work, right? It basically like frits out. So there's this concept that we send a percentage of our soul down here into the body, so we are not our body. And I've heard that before, but the way it was explained here is so different. We are not our body. So you know how there's this debate between nature and nurture? So I'm like, oh, that's what this is from. So your body has a chemical makeup, like depending on what your mother went through during the pregnancy, that can affect you physically, emotionally, psychologically, depending on how your father was when he inseminated your mother. If he's in a bad spot in his life, the sperm is damaged, and that can not it can influence you as you're growing in your mother's womb, right? So we come out sometimes with birth defects, or we just have stuff wrong with us. So that is just the body, right? And human nature, right? Human nature can relate to the body as well. So they were saying, like, you get to choose how much of a percentage of your soul you get to send down. So some people only send 5%. And when you only send that much, the human nature, the autopilot of a human or your ego takes over. So like, you know, you want to fight, you want to fuck, you want to eat, you want to, you know, do all those like baseline things. And that could be where NPCs come from, non-player characters, people who like are not awake and not aware, and they're just doing all these things, making mistakes over and over again. They're not learning from them, and they're blaming everyone else. And it's like, we can see clearly what they're doing wrong, but they can't see it. And it's like, it could be because not enough of their soul energy is in their body to kind of harness the human body and take control of it and make the body do what the soul wants it to do. And then there are some people who maybe put too much of their soul energy in, and then, you know, it conflicts with the body. So it's just very interesting, very mind-blowing to kind of read about it from that point of view. I hope I explained that well enough. I mean, it goes into, this book is so into detail. Like, some of this is even kind of going over my head a little bit, but it's okay. So if you guys are into finding out how stuff works on the other side and our roles, the first book was more about like, oh, what is it like on the other side, and coming to Earth and then going back home, and what do we do on the other side, and all this stuff. And this one is just like way more intense, way more into stuff. Like, it's just kind of mind-blowing. So I recommend this book highly, but it's very dense. It's very dense. So that is that for all my talking points. Now let's move on to the reading. So this is from today until, and by the time this comes out, it will be Friday. So from Friday until Monday when we do the other reading, because I'm like, I know I haven't been on you guys, and I wanted to give you guys something to help you out through this weekend until like next week just kind of starts off and stuff starts popping off. So let's see. I pulled a tarot card for you guys, and it's a mermaid deck, and you guys got the 9 of coral. So in this deck, the coral is the wands. So that's what it looks like upright. So in the upright position in the tarot for this, it is a man standing on top of a castle, and it looks like they just got done a battle. He's all wounded. He's got his head wrapped up, and he's kind of like, he's still standing guard, but he's exhausted, okay? And this card is basically meaning you're almost at the end, because remember, nines are all about completion of cycles. It's the ending, the wrapping up of things. And then the coral or the wands represent our willpower or fire energy. So in the reverse position, right? So sorry, in the upright position, this is all about being resilient, pushing forward. You're in the last stretch. You're almost done. You want to give up, but you're not going to because you're so close to the end. That's in the upright position. It came in the reverse position. So in the reverse position, this is all about being stubborn, being rigid. Maybe you're being overly defensive. There's absolutely no compromising from you whatsoever. You will not compromise. Or you could be giving up on something. I feel like a lot of you, yes, for a lot of you, this is signaling you're afraid to take that leap. You're afraid to make that move that you need to make. And I am urging you to do it. It is time. It is definitely, it's the perfect time to do it. Don't be afraid. Everyone else is doing it. You're not alone. You're in the same boat as everyone else. It's going to be okay. This could tell me that you're not a risk taker. You could have a fear. Your fears are preventing you from moving forward, and fear will kill you. Fear will absolutely kill you in this life. It will kill your dreams. It will kill everything if you let it. So this is also telling me, it's reminding me of the 8 of Swords, where like you're creating your own personal prison. You're putting yourself in a box. You're putting yourself in a corner, and the thing about that is you created your own prison, which means you can uncreate it. You have the power to uncreate it. You just have to be brave enough to do it. This is also telling me that you could be afraid of the what ifs, and that's why you don't want to take this step. Well, what if I do this and then I don't have the money for that? What's going to happen if that happens? And then this, that, the other thing. That thing hasn't even happened yet. Why are you worrying about it? You don't even know if that will happen. And guess what? It probably won't happen. And you will figure it out. If it is meant to be, it will be figured out for you. Either the universe will come through in the clutch, or you'll meet someone who will help you. You'll make that connection, something like that. And remember to ask for help. Ask for help. Be like, you know what, God? I am fucking afraid to do this thing. Can you help me with this fear? Help me take away this fear. It will happen. I asked that question back in the fall. I asked God, I'm like, I'm really afraid to do this. I want to do this so bad, but I don't know why I'm scared. I've done all this work. I don't know what else I can do. Please help me. And then we went on our honeymoon. We got rerouted to Mexico, and I went to a shaman. I got a healing. And after that, I wasn't afraid. It felt like something was taken from me, and I was like, oh my God, like it happened. I asked for it and it happened. So ask and you shall receive. It may not happen that day. It may not happen that week or a month from now, but it will happen when it's time. Okay. So have faith. All right. So if this is happening specifically in your love life, this could be a failed relationship. It could be you're the only one putting in the work, which that's not a partnership. Okay. You should not feel like the mother in your relationship or the father if you're a male. If this is happening in your work, you could be burnt out or nearing burnout. You're drained, you're fatigued, you're struggling, that sort of thing. And if this is happening in your financial life, this could be you're avoiding financial issues, you're avoiding the money, you're avoiding talking about it, you're avoiding dealing with it, or you're doing things to escape that stress. So, face your fears, okay? Face everything and rise. FEAR, fear. Face everything and rise. You will be just fine, all right? You can do this. I got you. Okay, you got you. You got you, you guys. Your guides have got you. They're there. Ask for help when you need it, all right? So next, to kind of lighten the mood, I wanted to do the Audacity deck because it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of a sad card. So you guys got the Fairweather Friend card, which I've never seen, and oh my god, it actually very much looks like the Ten of Swords. Someone backstabbed you maybe recently? Or you felt like you were backstabbed? And trust me, I know this reading looks negative. It's not, okay? It's reading the energy of what you're going through and giving you advice on how to get through it. Okay, so let's read what this card says. The Fairweather Friend. You are face down in the mud. Oh, okay. So you're not the skeleton. You're the person with the swords in their back. Ooh, okay. So you are face down in the mud and manure, and your friend is here to pluck a flower for himself. How convenient of you to give even when you have nothing left. Are you guys overgiving? My empaths out there who don't know how to say no. This is what happens when you don't know how to say no. You get fucked over. You gotta learn from that, right? So your message, over your dead body. Well, it's happened. You've hit rock bottom. But there is one real plus. You get to see who your true friends are. See who sticks around at your lowest and see who ghosts you. Take stock of your true friends and hold on to them. Yes. So this is like a shakeup is happening right now. Like your life is getting shooken up in all different ways, right? So this is actually a blessing in disguise that the universe is showing you who is no longer in alignment with your life. And I know it's going to be hurtful because I know it's someone close to you, whether it's a friend or a family member or a lover. Yeah, it's really going to hurt. Actually, I actually went through this earlier this week. I found out who people really were and I was like, oh, okay, I thought we were friends, but I guess not. Okay. I had to put you in on the list of people not to trust. The ever-growing list, right? So take it in stride. Just say, thank you, God, and move on, okay? Just take note and do what you need to do, protect yourself, and try to cut ties with this person, okay? Because they don't care about you the way you care about them, and you don't need someone like that in your life at this point. Okay, there's no more fucking around with this. This is your life. Take control of it, okay? You get to choose who's close to you and who's not, and they obviously showed you who they are. So guess what? They no longer get access to you, or they should not get access to you, okay? Keep that in mind. So, some people are in our lives for a little while. Some are in our lives forever. And some people just show who they really are, and unfortunately it's sad, but it's just like, okay. All right. And you know what? This is speaking to you guys are leveling up. And when you level up, things that are not a vibrational match with you start to fall away. Whether that's a job, a lover, a friend, family, where you live. But it's okay because this is leading you to things that are more in alignment with you. Yes, you may be losing this friend that you thought was amazing, but I promise you, if you can let them go and move on, you will attract much better people, whether it's a friend, a lover, whoever. You're going to attract people who are much better for you, okay? And who will treat you better and who won't do this to you, okay? Because you don't deserve that from someone you call a friend, right? Okay, next, last card, we have the unicorn deck, which is like spicy. Don't believe every shitty thought you have. Thoughts can be sneaky, lying bastards. Yeah. Remember, a thought is just a thought. It doesn't make it true. And just know that they have technology out there where they can imprint words and thoughts into your head. I heard recently at Coachella, there was a lot of people saying the same thing where they had this sentence repeating in their head and it was like driving them crazy. And they talked to other people and I'm like, I heard the same thing. So there's something behind that. So remember, and also know that there are entities on the astral realm who depending on what energy you're putting out there, they will be attracted to it depending on the spirit, or I should just say entity. It may not be a spirit. So say you're sad, you're crying, entities that feed off of that specific energy will come and be drawn to you, and they will start talking in your ear, and it sounds like your thoughts. And it will, like, I know for me when I was depressed, it was like, oh, go kill yourself, go do this, go do that. And like, I would never, as depressed as I have gotten, I have thought about what I would do. But when it came time to actually do it, I'm like, oh no, I can't do this. No. I don't have it in me, which is, that's a good thing, right? But it's like, I know that wasn't me telling me to do that, because I know on a soul level, I would never tell myself to do something like that to myself. So then when I learned more about this metaphysical stuff, it's like, oh no, that wasn't you. That was someone talking in your ear, telling you what to do and telling you what to say and stuff like that. And when you do drugs and alcohol, that lowers your shield basically, and they can come in easier and affect you in different ways that you don't even know about. So just keep that in mind, okay? Don't believe all your shitty thoughts. Sometimes it's things talking to you, making you do stuff that is not you, right? But yeah, a thought is just a thought, okay? And make sure it's your thought. Be like, would I actually think that? Like, if it's something out of pocket that you're like, oh, really? Like, oh my God, I'm so sad, or oh, like whatever the thought is, try to trace it back to its source. Did that really come from you? Or is that just a random thought? And it might not be a random thought. Maybe something is trying to put that thought in your head, right? To control you. So just be aware of that. So I know, oh my gosh, you guys, some crazy stuff is happening, but you know what? It's okay. Like my spirit guides told you earlier, it's a mess that needs to be untangled, both on a global scale with whatever's going to happen and in your personal life. Okay? More good is going to come from this, but remember, going through it isn't pretty. Going through a breakdown, a dissolution of things is not pretty, but sometimes that's what we need to move forward, and it's okay. Breathe. You've got it. You wouldn't be going through it if you couldn't handle it. And remember, when you think you're losing someone good for you, they might not, maybe you don't see it, or maybe you don't know, but there's other things that know, and they're trying to protect you from that person. So sometimes it's better just let them fall away. Don't go running after them. Don't go fighting for their attention. Go where you're celebrated, not tolerated, okay? So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you're all doing well. Like I said, this coming Monday, I will be doing a full moon reading. It's in Capricorn. And then I'll be doing a energy reading for the month of July. And then I also want to do a couple other fun videos. We'll see what happens though, because there's a lot of stuff going on with the back end of the business I got to figure out in the next 2 weeks. Especially before I go to Omaha for my first expo. Whoo! I am nervous, but I'm excited. I'm so excited. It's gonna be a good time. So yeah, that's all I've got for you guys. I hope you're hanging in there. Have hope. Keep faith. Do what you need to do. Remember, get back to the basics when things... yeah, I'm feeling like a vortex of energy, almost like a tornado around you. When things are crazy, just go within. Find the silence. Find the calmness. And ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help with the people that you know, and ask for help from a higher source, and you will be just fine, okay? We're all in this together. We're going to be okay. And whatever happens, the result is going to be worth it on the other side. I can see it. I literally see like a sun rising on like a brand new day. Like kind of like on a battlefield where like, everything looks horrible, but it's like, oh no, new things are coming. Like, yeah, something horrible happened, but you know what? We're going to build back from this, and we're going to build back better, So yeah, you know what? It's going to be good, you guys. So I love you all. I'm sending you peace, love, light, and healing. Stay safe out there and have a good weekend. Hang in there. You've got this. And until next time, I am Erin with Energy with Erin. Bye, guys.